Hey, we're back with Seniors Uncensored. You asked for it, and we're here. So I have Grace Whitmire that's with me, and she's actually the host of the show. I'm her sidekick, and we're coming forth with under our brand Legacy Collaborative Senior Village. My first piece is that in this actual because it's going to be three segments. So our first segment is going to be talking about the definitions and what they mean to seniors. So the first word I would like, Miss Grace, to give us a little background on how you see isolation in as being a senior and in your community.
Okay, I think isolation is being alone.
Okay, being alone, and
Mm,
is that alone in a way where you're lonely, or is
yeah.
loneliness, or is that a separate thing than loneliness? So is it a separate thing from loneliness, being isolated?
Well, I think they probably go like hand in hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, sometimes you can be isolated. Let's say if you are uh, has have a say like coronavirus,
Mhm.
you are isolated, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that you are alone.
Okay.
Because if you are isolated because of a condition, you have other things to keep you, to keep you busy. But if you are isolated because you have no one to be with or to talk to, or you're just by yourself, then that's a whole different ball game.
So that's isolation squared to
Yeah.
include loneliness. Got it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's kind of,
Yeah.
so loneliness, I can clearly look at loneliness as defining that as I can be around people and still be lonely. Can you do that with
You
loneliness?
sure can. That's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
You could be around a room full of people and still feel that you are alone.
Oh wow. Wait a minute. You wrote a poem. What's your poem that
Well,
you?
well, my poem is called Invisible, and I wrote this poem because this is the way I feel sometimes. I'm in the room with a whole bunch of people, just crowded, but I look around and I say, "There's people all around me, but none do I see. Are they all invisible, or is it me?"
Wow. That's big stuff right there. So
Yeah,
that actually really explains loneliness for a lot of people. But then it's this other perspective that people look at, and it's called solitude. So what does that look like? Because I know sometimes people enjoy being alone. Like I
that's
love myself enough. I can be by myself and I got solitude. So what do you think about that?
well, solitude can be very good if that's what you want.
Okay.
You might want to be by yourself so you can think, you can become more creative
Mhm.
and meditate or whatever. A number of things you can do in solitude. But then, too, you might not want to be in solitude because solitude can bring on loneliness.
Wow. So it can actually, that could be an intro or a segue into being
Yeah,
lonely. I definitely think
yeah,
sometimes that happens to me. I can sit around and I would be enjoying myself, and got I hate to say it, my fat girl snacks, and I'm
yes,
watching on Saturday, watching maybe I don't know, Lifetime or something.
yeah.
And I could be good earlier, but as the day creeps on and time expires, then I'm like, wow, I start feeling a little lonely. So then I have to get up and go outside and do something else. So clearly I got that. But I
And then,
thank
too,
you.
you can throw in, like our little pity parties,
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
Well, I didn't lose the 2 pound I wanted to, so woe is me. Or I ate the whole cake, so woe is me. So,
You ate the whole cake. Yeah, woe is you for real.
so,
So
so bring it on ourselves,
okay. So
Uh,
what so with those on the upside of those three piece is isolation, loneliness, and solitude. I think that we're moving towards more positive understanding. So we can now talk about companionship and social connectivity. So for me, companionship could be an array of things, and from animals to random gestures of talking to
Yes.
strangers and all that. And it actually sometimes when you don't have companionship, you can have a bit of social connectivity, just
Mm.
being social. And I hate to say it, those random acts of
Yeah,
conversations,
that's right.
right? Because I remember you telling me one time, someone told you so that you could feel more engaged, get on the bus
Get
and
on
just
the
talk.
bus. My doctor, I was having a hard time with some mental problem, with some mental problems.
Uh huh.
And I didn't want to go see a counselor because, with uh, back in the day and still now, black people just don't go to see counselors.
Taboo.
So he had, so he had suggested that I go see a counselor. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. So he said, well, get on the bus, go to the other end of town where nobody know you. Get off the bus and just start talking. Tell people what you want to tell them. Tell all your business or whatever. Get back on the bus and come home. You're never going to see those people again.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
So that was my therapy. That was my therapy.
That
Yeah.
can be therapeutic, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I think this is a good way to segue into our part two. Okay, now, Miss Grace. I hope you don't mind, Miss Grace, because I got my tea
Yeah.
since we just chatting for
Then
the
we
day,
chatted.
chatting. So now we can kind of just go into the discussions around worthy connections. As we said, we're talking about or beginning the conversation around
Mhm.
companionship and social connectivity. Let's discuss some of those worthy connections like family.
Family.
Go ahead, you can
Yes.
name them.
Okay. This as we get older, we start losing family members.
Mm, mm.
And
I
that
kind
can,
of think when you said that, I mean, I know as you get older, you lose your circle begins to shrink.
yeah, yes,
But I think now when you're talking about it's comparative for the youth. The young folks are losing their friends and family just as fast. So
yes,
that could be intergenerationally. But
yes.
anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
we start losing family members, and we start losing friends.
Uh-huh.
And then here you are, boy, I am 75 years old. She's 74. She died. When is my time coming?
Oh wow, we can't get into
Yeah,
those negative thoughts
yeah,
though.
yeah,
I
but we
rebuke
do.
that.
Yeah, we do. We
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
We
yeah.
do. So that's a big part of it. Especially if you don't have if you have a small family like I do,
Okay.
or either if somewhere along the line, you become separated from your family, or you had a falling out. So in a certain sense, you just don't have family anymore.
Yeah, I can see that being estranged from your family and
Yes,
having that being lonely. Going back to
yes,
that,
yes,
right? Being
yes,
lonely and feeling isolated because when people depend on only their family and then they become estranged from them, then they don't have, they don't really have any support. So I
that's
get
true.
that. So when we talk about worthy connections, I think when you talk about having your family, having your friends, and if you have a romantic relationship,
Yes,
with a significant other, that's great. I don't know how you guys do it over 75, having romance
girl,
in
we
your
got it
life.
going on. Got it
Girl,
going
you
on.
crazy. You crazy, Miss Grace. You crazy. But then, I think about the list of different things when we talk about worthy connections. I remember you had birds in your
I
house.
had I had a rabbit. I had a rabbit for like 11 years. My baby. I had a
Wow.
rabbit in the house, and I also had birds.
I remember the birds, and you
Red
said that
bird.
was part. They were like companionship for
That
you,
was the
right?
companionship. It was companionship for the bird. The bird didn't talk, but
Yeah,
the bird sang, and I
yeah.
talked. Yeah, and I talked to the bird. You
So
know.
see, yeah, so that's companionship, and then I also think about like the activities. Like
Yeah,
sometimes I've met individuals that are seniors that they can go home and be by themselves all day, but would run out the door when it was time to go play bingo, and
that's
that would
true.
be the highlight of what they do, and then they would go right back being a recluse and go back
Yeah,
in their home. So they
yeah,
would connect. That was like a priority and a worthy connection for them, and I
and it still is. It still is. And the thing about the pandemic is that uh, a lot of the people who on Wednesday was bingo night, Friday was another night,
Well,
casino.
remember they had what Keno
Yeah,
one night,
yeah.
and then they had game
Casino,
night. Uh huh. Uh
all
huh.
that. So now that is gone. So that's bringing. You can just see the sadness in their faces.
Yeah.
So you know,
So yeah. So I get it. So but that's why now we're getting ready to go into the last segment of this discussion, and we're going to talk about some good solutions for increased companionship and social connectivity. We'll be right back.
uh,
Okay, now, Miss Grace. So this is our last piece of this
yeah,
conversation. Oh no, our chat. I stand corrected. Of
I,
our chat. Okay. So as we're chatting, I would like to go through maybe a few
mhm,
of suggestions for individuals to look at or and implement, more
mhm,
importantly, around how to increase their social connectivity and companionship. So I know we actually took made a list, and
yeah,
the first item on the list was
to
call and write people.
right people. And writing is something that we don't do too much of
Uh,
now. You know, so yeah, we could. I think writing is good because sometimes I really don't feel like taking a telephone call, but
yeah.
I'm happy to see a letter or a card.
Yeah, I
So
could do the cards, but
yeah,
sometimes sitting down writing a letter, not saying that I write a lot anyway. Well, I don't write,
yeah,
I type a lot, right? Because we use a
yeah,
computer. But to sit down and write a letter, I rather just express something in a card and send it. And
yeah.
I think the last couple letters I wrote, I never even mailed. Terrible, right?
Well, you can just add to your card. Thinking of you. Just put a little
Uh-huh.
personal touch on it. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. And then what's the next item we talked about? Um,
Zooming,
oh yeah,
social media,
joining Zoom
joining Zoom.
social events and activities, right?
Yep,
Because as we started compiling this list, we started thinking about pre-COVID and post-COVID and
yeah,
in the midst of COVID, and and looking at like how even though when we get through and get to this new normal, how some of these activities will still help people be instrumental in helping people stay connected, right?
that's
So
true.
I hope that even though we can engage, that we still keep the Zoom calls and social events for those that can engage, right?
Yes,
That are
yes,
homebound, right? Because
yes,
this actually gave people that are isolated due to disabilities to be a part of a larger community. So I really did like, I really do like, I ain't gonna say did, but really
mhm.
do like the social events on Zoom and activities. Yeah. And matter of fact, be a leader in your community.
That's
Start your
that,
own Zoom call because there's so many activities. And what I think why people are lonely is because they don't find a fit for themselves in an already existing community. Then start your own community. Say, hey girls, hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and start this Zoom call because you have up to 40 minutes, unlimited people. But at the
yes.
point, but you like Cinderella, you turn back, you turn into I guess a stepchild after 40 minutes. Your call will disconnect. So yeah, so do those kind of things. But so that was the one other item we had on list. And what else we got on that list, Miss Grace?
Oh, dating. online.
Oh, ooh, yeah, Sookie now. Did I remember when I first met you? You was on a dating
Let
platform.
it up. Well, can I say the name of it? No.
Go ahead, you can. You can just
Plenty
say
of
it.
fish. Plenty of fish.
Girl, I ain't heard nothing nice about plenty of fish. I don't know what you was doing on
Uh,
there.
uh.
Getting
Well,
the
you know,
catfish.
it to me it was fun.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So what? So you just went on there to talk to people because you know I used to be a serial conversationalist on those platforms. Now I'll get on there and talk and text,
uh,
but I ain't trying to meet you. I don't know what craziness is that.
no, we had two. I had two girlfriends over, and both of us on a dating site. Plenty of fish and master whatever it is. Mm. Well, anyway, they was talking about all these fabulous dates and everything on Plenty. But
What?
Plenty of Fish was the cheapest one, right? So I got on Plenty of Fish. I had so much fun.
Okay.
I really did. But the thing about it, you have to be, aware that there is cost,
Okay.
and you have to be aware that there are flim flammers, scammers.
Oh yeah, exploitation
Yeah,
and scams. That's
scam.
one of the one places where I think there's always been a lot of high level risk,
Yes.
but they could be fun. And if you just use it to talk on and you ain't giving out no banking account information, then enjoy yourself. But there's some actual ones that now that focus just for people 50 plus. One is civil, I think it's civil or civer singles or something along that.
Yes, there was some along that line.
Yeah. And elite single dating site. So,
Mm.
but ultimately, AARP has an actual guide on for online dating. So people need to definitely check that out. That's looking. They may have some suggestions. I mean, I don't want to tell them your secrets, but
No, no, no. But you just be aware of, if they ask you for money, if they put a kid
yeah,
on the phone, say calling your mama, you know, you know, something wrong with that picture. Yeah.
yeah,
Let me tell
yeah.
you
Something.
this story right quick. When
Okay,
I was
okay.
when I was working at the nursing home, uh, one of the nurses go to Nigeria every year, on a fact finding mission of to help people. And I asked her to. I told her I wanted a pen pal, a Nigerian man. So she said, okay. She came back with the man's name, address, photo, and his bank account number.
Oh my God. So is that I'm on my mind because I'm from the urban community. I was like, damn, that almost sounds like prostitution.
So I said, well, no, he actually sent me his bank account number. I said, well, oh, well, not
Wow.
this one.
Wait a minute. Was that for you to put funds in
in
or for you to take
his
funds
in
out?
his account, yes,
Oh, no, shut your
yes,
face.
yes,
What?
for me to send him money.
I
Yeah.
know.
So that was nipped in the bud right there.
I know that's right. So, that matter of fact, we're gonna jump on to another one. I know another idea that you had, and I actually put it to use right after you suggested it, and that was re-engage in former activities.
That's
So I
right.
started reading. Matter of fact, I'm reading a good book right here by Bree Brown called Rising Strong. So I thought about it. I said, I haven't read a good book. I had got a couple of self-help books, and that's kind of like it, but this author talks more about her story. So
Mhm.
anyway, I re-engaged in that particular activity, and I found that actual suggestion as being valuable. So hey,
And then
people,
too, do something that you've always wanted to do.
oh
Like
yeah,
you want,
skydive.
if you want to play a musical instrument, do that.
Yeah, we've been in the house for a year almost. So
Yeah,
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 you could have been able to
yeah.
be proficient at
Yeah.
flute
Want to
playing
take voice
again.
lessons? Take voice lessons. You
Oh
know,
yeah. And actually a lot of stuff you can learn on YouTube.
that's true.
Uh-huh.
That's
And
true.
speaking of YouTube, you also can, when I was thinking about reading, audio books,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So you can go on YouTube and have a book read to you, or go to one of those free sites. I know the public library
Library. Yes.
has ebooks and digital books. Well, that's the same thing, and also have a library for of audio books. So those things are, there for you, whether you're in COVID or not.
True.
Natural disaster or not. So
And
I
just
think
make sure that say free.
free.
Free. Yes.
FREE, free.
Yeah.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. So, and I think the last two that we talked about, and I'll just say that these two quickly, and I think they're self-explanatory because they're everywhere. Video chat. You got Google Chat, Hangout, FaceTime, Duo app,
Duo. Yeah.
all free. Use
Free. Yeah.
that. And then one golden nugget is register for a virtual lifetime learning opportunity. I know AARP has a guide on free and inexpensive courses. And sometimes in your local community college, they will have classes that are free to individuals that are 65 plus. So go back and get that associate degree.
That's right.
Yep, 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 yep. So I think this list is a good list. We're going to have to post this somewhere so that people can read it. Good job, Miss Grace.
All right.
Hats off to you. Well, everyone, we've come to a close. That was our 20 minutes. We're trying to make sure we hit our time so that we can move on and you guys can move on about your day. So we're signing off. I'm Dr. Cat, and this is
Grace.
have a good day.